So hey guys, and as you guys asked for it, we have how to animate like Iman Gadzhi. Who is Iman Gadzhi? So here is what we'll be creating today. Yeah, I know. That is looking really cool. And by the way, it's all done in the Visual Resolve for free. Yes, for free. And I highly recommend this software. This software is really powerful. So just go and quickly download it and then come to the Fusion page over right here, as you can see. And yeah, by the way, we'll be creating this node graph. You guys might be like, what the but no, I'm serious. Calm down. It's really simple. It's just this big because of its repetitiveness. Okay, as many elements you will add, it will be more bigger. Okay, these node line is the same over here, okay, and same over here till this one, and again same with this thing. It is same till here. Okay, and these are all the merges. So in total, if we see, this effect is really simple if you guys focus and understand. And by the way, this file is available, link provided in the description below, so you guys can check that too. First of all, let's explain this, like what is happening in this. So in the clip itself, you can see that we have these different cutout elements like this YouTube icon, this menu bar, navigation bar, whatever it is, this banner, this profile pic, all of these sort of elements that are separated from the clip. It's that simple, and then they are just moved. So this is basically called motion graphics. And first things first, he doesn't have a specific or particular animation style. He does character animation, he does all sort of motion graphics, so it broadly covers all the motion graphics animations techniques, you can say. So basically he's doing motion graphics in his videos, and that's where my specialty comes in. Just kidding. I am seeing most of the YouTubers are doing this. They are adding motion graphics as it makes or enhance your videos much better. And yeah, so again, let's first understand how this works. So first of all, we have this background. And why do this background have a color like this? It's really dark. Well, that is because if we come over here onto this main clip, let me just disable. First, just understand properly, okay? We will be creating each and every step from scratch. But you need to understand this. Once you understand, it will be really easy for you to create not just this, but any sort of clip. You can animate anything, and you can do you can add motion to any graphics. You can even create your own. Yeah, who is stopping you? So we have this main clip. Okay, this is an image. This is just an image. That is it, nothing else. So we have this image, and on top of this image, what I did was I added a mask. Okay, and a mask is something, basically a cutout of something. Okay, that is a mask. Pretty simple, right? So for example, if I have a background over here, let me just show this to you guys. And by the way, you can see anything on the viewer if you just take that node and drag it to the viewer. And your workspace might be a little different from mine. It would be something like this. All right, and there's no issue in that. Like, this is also good and that was also good. It's just based on your preferences. Like my preferences, if I come to this layer presets again, Fusion presets and mid flow, this is what I prefer because I've been using in that way a lot. So I got bored from that, so I thought, why not change it? So we have this background, and let me just make it white just for a moment. This is the inspector, by the way. If you don't have it enable it. So basically this is inspector. This is all the controls of that particular node are. This is your node graph where you will set up your node workflow. Okay, this is your viewer, this is your toolbar, and all of the settings. And this is your timeline. Basically this is a frame by frame timeline, as you can see. And now I have taken this background from this toolbar. If you don't have this toolbar, go to Fusion, check show toolbar. Or what you can do is you can just delete this node and come onto this node graph, click on it, hit Shift plus spacebar, and then this select tool will pop up in your software. Obviously you can scale it up, okay, you can scale it down, you can do all sort of things. So let me just scale it up like this. We don't need to do all of that. So now what you can do is you can type BG. That is it. That is a short form for background. Then click add, and you can see all the nodes by coming onto this effects, and in tools you have all the nodes over here, which Davinci Resolve provides obviously, and you have some of them in OpenFX also. So you can check all of those in your free time and play with those. I highly recommend that. I'll close this effects panel, and yeah, by the way, I have my media pool over here, so I just dragged my clip from here in case you were wondering. Okay, I'll hit controllers again and again, and yeah, I have this background. Let me again change its color to white, and then to add a mask on it, you can do various things. Again, in Fusion you have multiple ways to do a single thing, and you see this blue input and this output. This input and output provides you the pipeline for the node. So basically this blue input is the effect mask as it says over there, and you can see over here also in the bottom left corner it is saying background 3 effect mask. Okay, so what does this mean is basically you can add a mask input here. So I can add anything, literally an image also, to act or make it as a mask over here. I just need to attach that image as a mask. So for example, if I have these 3 masks enabled right now and our main clip will look something like this, if I put this into the background, so it will take that as a mask. So again, you can put anything in this mask output. Okay, but right now I won't do that. What I'll do is I'll add a mask such as a rectangle or ellipse, because that is pretty simple for you to understand. So in toolbar we have these 4 basic masks over here. We have generator nodes over here, we have color nodes over here, we have our merge, channel boolean, matte control, resize, transform node over here, we have some particle nodes and also 3D nodes. Okay, this is basically default toolbar. If you right click over here and choose default, then you will have the same toolbar which I have over here. Pretty simple, pretty basic, right? So this is one method that you can do, but here you only have these 4 mask nodes. And when you will be creating some advanced animations like this one or any other, so you'll not be having this toolbar, basic toolbar, because it is covering your area, and we need to just remove as many things as possible because we need more space / real estate. And so for that, if I'll again come to this Fusion, show toolbar, and then again come, if I remove this toolbar, you can see we have more space. So how do we do that? Again, as I told you, you can hit either Shift plus spacebar, then the select tool will pop up and you can type here rectangle, okay, or you can type ellipse for a circular or elliptical mask, or you can type here polygon, in which you can basically make your own mask, and many more. But the way that we will be doing is different. You can directly create a mask on clicking on this viewer. How is that possible? If I right click anywhere on my viewer, you can see we have these settings for this background node. And lastly, we have this background 3 effect mask, which has all of the masks. Okay, we have bitmap, b-spline, ellipse, key stretcher, mask paint, polygon, ranges, rectangle, triangle font, and every sort of thing. If you want a dedicated video on this mask itself, I can create that. Please comment down below. Otherwise, I will be creating any which ways. Okay, and you also have this connect to. What is this? These are all the nodes present in here. Okay, and this is the thing which I like about Fusion is you can connect any value to any value, which is really helpful. But for this, just to explain this to you guys, I'll select rectangle, and you can see, and by the way, this is gonna be a long video, so please grab a popcorn or something and just stay there. And we have a rectangular mask. You can see it's alpha out. Alpha out means that it is separated from the background. It's just this is a 4K canvas, which you can see over here also. Its resolution is over here, and by the way, I'm zooming in or out with control and middle mouse. Okay, I'll come here and fit it to view, or you can click on the viewer and hit Control F to fit it to view again, and I'm hitting Control S again and again to save, because Davinci is heavy somehow. You can see the resolution over here also, and this is float 16, not 32. And now again you have your this rectangular mask over here. You have your properties like center X, center Y. Okay, you have your width, height, corner radius, angle, border width, soft edge, and all of the settings. Even invert is one option, and even solid. Then you can increase the border width, and you can do these all sort of things. Okay, so this is how a masks work on an image or something like this. Okay, now I'll delete this. This was the pretty basic explanation. So the same thing which we're doing here is, if I show my main clip, we have this main clip and we have these 3 masks on top of each other. Yes, you can add as many masks as possible. Okay, so this is our first mask, which is covering this Iman Gadzhi's profile bio, whatever it is called, I don't know. So if I enable this, you can see we have this mask. Okay, then the second one, we have this tab over here, this playlist, videos, live, community channels, and latest popular artists, whatever it is. Then we have the search bar. Okay, and if I enable all these 3 masks, then you can see we have these 3 masks, and these are animated. Like one of it is animated, which is this profile bio one. If I come to 0 frame, its width property is animated. You can animate by using these keyframes, the diamond buttons over here. So on the 0th keyframe, it is set to 0, its width. Okay, so that's why we are not able to see it. To see this, what I did was I came to frame number 30 and then increase its width to something like this, and because of that we have something like this. And you can see there is some easing in and easing out. We'll do all that in the spline editor. Okay, yeah, there is much to Davinci Resolve, and especially in Fusion page, like, you are the king. You can do any sort of thing you want. Okay, as you can see, these are other elements such as the bio, search toolbar, and all of these. Okay, so the note says that this is having the background with same color, and now you understand why we have this background color as same as this. So what is happening is, basically we have this background, and on top of this background, with the help of merge, on top of it we are putting these. Okay, and how are we doing that is with the help of merge. So what this merge does is, basically it has this background input. So we have background in the background input. This yellow input is background and green input is foreground. Okay, this is how Fusion nodes are done. And then if I show this merge, then these are on top of this background. So this is our background, and on top of it we have these masks. Pretty much simple, right, till now. And these were the other elements, and this is basically an underlay which you can create. So if I come over here and add 2 nodes, if I add this, and if I add this, and if I add maybe something like this, I can select all of these, hit shift plus spacebar, and type underlay, just for organizational management purposes. I don't know why it has taken this note. Yeah, and now these 3 are under this underlay, which means, like, how do this benefit? First of all, it's better for organization, obviously, and you can even come here onto these 3 dots, and you can go to, like, if you have a huge file, then you can go directly by clicking on this 3 dots or menu bar over here. And for example, if I click on videos, I can come to this underlay, glowy border, underlay 1, other elements, underlay 2, like all of these things. Okay, so I'll delete this underlay also. Then now we are done with our other elements, I think. Now let's come to this underlay 1. Same thing is happening here. So as we have our image over here, we have this image over here. So let me just show this to you. For example, let me just disable this mask. You can see that we have this image. Okay, and with the help of this rectangle mask, I was able to cut this part out. That is it. Again, doing the same thing with this profile photo. we have this ellipse mask on top of this image. This is the same image, by the way. I have just changed their names by hitting F2. I can change to anything. Okay, so yeah, that's how I do it. And with the help of this ellipse mask, it was really simple to cut this profile photo out. Then again, if I enable it, you can see we have this cut out. Otherwise it's just alpha out, which means that we have this checker underlay beneath this our element. Then same with the subscribe button, same with the YouTube icon, same with the menu bar or whatever it is called. Okay, then again, as we have these merged on top, then with the help of merge again, now this all is our background and this is our foreground. Okay, now these all are our background and then this is our foreground. So with the help of this merge, we were able to add all the elements in place. And same way, same thing over here. These are again the same, like this, and this, and this, and this, and even this are same nodes. They are not different nodes. They are the same nodes. Just because I want to have some separation and more control, I added those differently. These are the same nodes. I have just changed their name. That is it. And what is this? It's an image. You can see this over here also. It says clip name. This means that it is an image or it's a video. In our case, we have an image. And this is a screenshot of Iman Gadzhi's channel. That is it. Okay. So you see, this is how simple. This is how simply you can do all sort of things in Fusion. Then again, we have this. And we have a separate underlay for videos and separate underlay for our elements. I don't know why I haven't typed here elements. I should have typed those. You can likewise change the name of your underlay panel also. And the same way we have a videos panel, and you can see we have this simple video over here, and then again with the help of rectangular mask I was able to cut it. And this time I played a little bit with corner radius also. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Then again, same with this video, same with this video, same with this video. And I just took out 4 videos separately, like the each individual one separately. And then the rest of videos were taken out like this. Okay, so yeah, that's pretty much it. And we can do even one more thing. I'll come to this rectangle and I can increase some corner radius. So you can even see this. I can do something like this. Yeah, this is looking great. Now I can hit Control F to again zoom it or fit to view. And again with the help of merge, I was able to add all of these on top of our background. That is it. And now this glowy border stuff, you might think, wow, that is too much, like I can't handle this much. It is really simple. It's again just taking merge directly from this transform node which we added. Okay, these transform, and again what these transform nodes are doing is adding some motion to the image. That is it. And the motion which you see, if I play this, it's all added because of these transform nodes. So we have 2 types of transform node in each node line. The first one, if I play this to you, it's adding the actual motion. But the second one is modified. Yes, you can add some modifier also in the nodes. And how you do that and all that kind of stuff, again modifiers and all that, I'll explain, don't worry. But till now, I think you have a basic understanding of how these are made. Okay, again, we have a simple background and elements are added on top of this, like you do in Photoshop, right? You cut out an image and you stick that to any other, like all of that. Okay, and all of these elements are just merged, and because we have all the separate cutouts, we have separate controls for each one. Like you can do any sort of thing with each one separately and differently. Okay, then lastly we have that glowy background merged on top of it. You see over right here. Okay, so we have all the merges, like we have all of these again separated, and then with the help of bitmap and filter we were able to grab that border, and then I just blurred it out a little bit. Maybe I didn't do that. Yeah, I didn't do that. And then with the help of glow and soft glow, I was able to make them glowy, then merge that out, and with the help of, you can see fast, without fast noise, it's all like that. It was looking great, but I want to do something different. So I added a fast noise as a mask on this merge. Fast noise looks something like this, and merge looks something like this, and lastly we have this whole clip. So I think that you have a pretty basic understanding on how this node graph was created and basically how these kind of things are done. So yeah, with the single image you can take out all the elements with the help of masks, then merge those all out, and with the help of transform just add some motion to it, animate those. Okay, so I think it's time to start the actual tutorial, like how to make it from scratch. So let's begin. First of all, what do we have here? We have our main clip. So like if I just remove all of these, we have a main clip, main footage. So let's do one thing. Let's create it from scratch. Alright, let me do control. You can go to media pool and add your images over here with control plus I, which is for import. So what you can do is you can import your image, then hit open, and then you will have your image. So in our case, what I have is a screenshot. I think it's this one or this one, maybe. Let me just check for a moment. It's which one? Yeah, so it's this one. Okay, so now after you have added that, I can just close my media pool like that by clicking on this media pool. And now, and yeah, I also have this navigator. So how you can add this navigator is right click on your node graph, go to options and choose show navigator or auto navigator. So let me just select auto navigator instead of show navigator. So what does this mean is basically if I have all the nodes in my viewer, it will just go away. But if I don't have that, it will pop up again, and you can even scale your navigator also. So I mean, yeah, this is great. So first of all, we have this image. Okay, as you can see, we have this image. What to do with this image? Now, as I told you, we need to grab all the elements separately from this image. So we need to add a mask, but we don't just add a mask and do all that stuff. What we will do is after this media, we will add a background. So just click on this background on this toolbar, or instead of using this toolbar, I'll make you a habit of using the select tool pop-up. Okay, so click on this fusion, click on the show toolbar so that it is moved away, so that you have some more space also. And in the workspace, choose full screen window, so it will grab all of the space which your monitor or screen has. Alright, now we have this media in 2. First of all, let's change its name. So hit F2 and rename tool and type here clip. Yeah, simple clip. Okay, that will be easier for you to understand also. So in this clip, what we need to do is basically after this clip, let's add a merge. So type in merge, you have this merge. Okay, this clip is put it into its background input, which we don't want. If you remember, if I come over here, this clip's in output is in the foreground's input of the merge. Okay, and why is that? Because we have a separate background here. Because for example, if I come over here and merge and add a background, so it will automatically this merge. We need to delete that. Okay, and connect this background on this foreground of this merge, and let's view this merge. And how do we do that? Either you can click 1 or 2, okay, to view it from the keyboard, or you can just drag it and view it to the keyboard. And I feel that dragging is the best which ways you can use. Okay, now this background is acting as a foreground. Now this background is on top of this clip. That's what we don't want. So we need to switch the inputs. So how you do that? You can either do this manually, remove this, then put this, and then put this. Or what you can do is, if we have these inputs, okay, and we need to switch the inputs, so click on the merge and hit Ctrl T. That is it. It's so simple, right? So now you have the background and this clip is on top of the background. First of all, let's go to this background and on color, click on it and choose pick screen color and choose the background of this YouTube dark mode obviously. So select this and hit OK. So now we have the same color which this YouTube panel has. So even if I add a mask, so for example, I'll come on this clip, click on it, right click and again effect mask and choose maybe for example rectangle mask, right? You won't notice a difference, but it was set to black, then you will notice a difference. Or if it was set to white or red, blue, yellow, green, whatever sort of color, then you might notice a difference. But if you have the same color as the YouTube has, you might not see the difference. So these are the things which you have to keep in mind. Okay, now we have our background, and on top of it we have our clip, mask. So let's again, you can arrange your mask size just by hitting onto this viewer. And if your file is getting a little bit heavy, right click on this area and uncheck high quality, and check motion blur, and check auto proxy, and even proxy if it doesn't still work. And by the way, I'm working in 4K, so you don't need to work on 4K. So go to project settings, and instead of 4K, choose 1920 by 1080, and that might be the default for you. Okay, so yeah, that's how it is working. And you can change the size of it in the viewer itself, or you can come onto this rectangular mask. Okay, rectangle mask, and if this inspector is not enabled, enable this inspector. You have all the settings. You can change the width, you can change the height, but this is a slow method which I think. So what I do is directly, if you come over here, you have these arrows. So again, this above vertical arrow is for the x axis, this sideways arrow is for the y axis, this circle is to change its angle, these 4 corners are to change its width and height simultaneously. If I make this angle to 0, then this top and bottom line is to change its height, and again these side lines are to change its width. So let me just place it, and if you click on this rectangle or squarey thing, then you can change its x and y position simultaneously. So I'll just put it somewhere around here, maybe in between, yeah, and again resize it. Yeah, maybe something like this. Put it over here. So something like this. And now you can see, if I click on this and hit Control F, you have this cutout, and it's looking good. And how do we animate that? That is pretty simple. If I come to frame number 30, again doing the same thing which we did over here. So we have this rectangle, and if I add a keyframe on this width, because we need to expand it, okay, and if I go to 0 keyframe, and then again on 0 keyframe, if I decrease its width to 0 and hit Ctrl S, by the way, again and again to save it, hit Ctrl F to zoom it fit to view, and now double click on my node graph so that all that is gone, all that green thing which shows the animation of it. And if I play it, whoa, you have your first animation. But this is not looking that good as it was looking over here. So how it was looking, let me just show that to you. It's just so smooth in here, right? Whereas this one which we created just now is not that smooth. Well, that is because all of the easing in and easing out we did, that is all done in the splinator. So how it's done, it's that done. Let me just show that to you. So on this rectangle, I'll come over here, right click, and choose edit splines. This will automatically choose this rectangle for you. Okay, now what is this? You can manipulate your animated keyframes. Okay, so these are your keyframes. The first one is this on 0 keyframe, and if you come onto this 31, then you can see this is your keyframe. And if you come over here and manipulate this with hand, and if you see, you have animated it. Okay, so that's why it's really powerful. Splinator and this keyframes are really powerful in its own. So now I'll select all of this with this, and then hit this button which says zoom to fit. That is it. And now what we need to do is, you can see we have all these options here. We have smooth, linear, step in, invert, step out, reverse, set loop, set ping pong, set relative, select all, which we already have selected. then click append, which you can do by coming over here, and you see this color change. That means then you can append it, and time, stretch, shape box, and all of these sort of things. Okay, you can do all here. And we also have some keyframes for it, but right now this is set to linear. If I click on it, nothing happens because it is already set to that. So for making it smooth, what you can do is you can either click on this smooth, or I had Control Z by the way to undo it. What you can do is you can again with Control A select all the keyframes and Shift S to smooth that out. And now if you will play, did you notice a difference? Yes, it's a little bit smoother than before. How to make it more smoother like we have in our that clip? So what you can do is you can select the later keyframe, this one, and you can hit T. What this will do is now you have this ease in and ease out option. And by the way, I'll hit Control and middle mouse wheel so that I am a little bit zoomed out from the view, so I have a better picture. And now with this ease in, you can manipulate this slider. Okay, and without using this ease in or ease out, so for example, if I select this, and let me just select both of these and hit Shift S again, just to make those smooth again. Instead of this ease in and ease out, what you can do is you can select this and hold Alt. And now with holding Alt, if you drag it on in a vertical way, then it will be locked on this axis. Okay, and again with the same thing in a horizontal way, it will be locked on this axis. Now you can move your cursor up and down, but it will not move up and down, it will just move in a horizontal manner. That is how you manually manipulate it. But if you don't want to mess with that, because sometimes it doesn't work, I don't know why, so for that you can just click on this keyframe and choose ease in. So maybe something like this, and then select this one and increase the ease out, so maybe something like this. And now let's see our animation. Whoa, that is looking much better. So you see, just manipulating these two keyframes, it was so easy and so simple. And just by doing these simple things, you have your basic little really awesome animation. This was just done for this bio. Now you need to do the same thing for all the elements. Okay. I know that is a little bit hard work there, but you need to do that, because if you want this sort of cool animation, then you gotta do some cool stuff too. This is pretty basic. Now the next thing was adding some more masks to it. So you can do the same again, coming over here, clicking Shift plus space bar and adding a rectangle. Okay, so this will be added in between your previous mask and this clip, because this mask is added on top of this mask. So let me just view this, and we have our second mask. We just need this much. So again, you can manipulate it in the viewer itself. So maybe something like this, and then increase its width, not that much. I just increase it too much. So maybe something like this, where other stuff is not. And then again adding another rectangle and adding another thing. So I'll just quickly do that. Just for the ease of the tutorial, I'll just copy the notes from here and then paste it. But now you have a basic idea how to do that. Okay, and now with all that, you will have this animation. I think that you have a basic understanding of doing all that kind of stuff. You can put an underlay over here, select over all of these, hit Shift space bar, type underlay. You can type UND, hit enter. Now this will have this underlay. Hit F2 and change it to other elements and hit enter if you don't want to change the names of these other nodes over here. And you can again change, like right click onto this and then go set color and maybe change it to orange, so you have your other elements over right here. Okay, so this was teal over there, so you can change it to teal. Okay, so that is how you create this. Now After this, we have our main elements. And what do we have here? So let me just copy all of these and then paste it with Control C and Control V. That is pretty much basic. I think all of you guys here know that much at least. So now again, what we have here is again the image, and then with the help of this rectangular mask, again this is the same rectangle mask which I have used over here. So this is the same rectangle mask. Put that on this image, and with the help of this transform, what I did was I added a keyframe on this 12th frame, in which my center X value or property was here, so that this is out of screen. Let me just do and show that to you. So what I did was, basically I have my image, then again adding a rectangle mask. I think now you know how to add a basic mask. So we have this mask. Okay, nothing is animated right now. So to animate that, let me again hit Shift plus spacebar and type XF, which is short form for transform. So you can use these short forms also, and I'll hit enter. Now I will have this transform in my node pipeline. So this is a pipeline. Okay, and by the way, my nodes are snapping to the grid. And how's that? So you can do the same if you right click on this node graph again in options, and in arrange tools, click auto arrange and also to grid. So this will snap to the grid which is behind the node graph. I hope that you can see that. And then in transform, again we do animate that. So on 12th keyframe, I'll add a keyframe over here in center X and Y, and then I'll come here in 42nd keyframe I think, and then add another keyframe. Now why did I added these two keyframes? Likewise it's the same. Well, that is because on the 42nd keyframe I want it to be here. This is the rest position of it, but it should come from there. So how do we do that? We animated center X value. That is it. So this is also one thing. If your node is not enabled on the viewer, it will show you the settings that you are doing on the viewer, but not the visuals of it basically. So again, click and drag it to the viewer. Now you can see that. And now I am changing its X value. So maybe putting it somewhere around here. So maybe 1.4 I think. Yeah, where it's out of the clip. Okay. And now if you play from the beginning, so it will come like this. And again, it's linear right now. That's why it's not looking that smooth. So come on to this transform, right click, go to edit splines, uncheck this spline, right click and edit splines. And now we just want this transform 3, not other splines. So what we can do is we can have this transform 3 enabled or checked, and then in rectangle double click on it, transform 1_4, double click on it, so that we just have this transform. That is it. I don't know, there might be a better way than this. If you have that in your knowledge, then please comment down below, so that it will be a lot easier for the people and me also. Now again, I'll click on the zoom to fit. We have all of it. So Control A, select both, Shift S, select this one, and because we have this ease in and ease out enable, with the help of T in your keyboard, T, and then ease in, make it something like this, select this, ease out. Let's see. Whoa, that is really super good. Again, select this, maybe add some more easing in, something like this, maybe some more easing out, something like this. I think that's too much. Whoa, yeah, I think that is too much. So not that much. Yeah, that is looking great. And now you can take all of it, and again with the help of, you can take all of these, and with the help of merge, again Shift plus spacebar, MERGE to add a merge, put it over here. Now this merge is going to the foreground, as you can see, but we don't want that. We wanted to put it in background because we are smart, we know all that thing. So which input is for background? This one, yellow one. So put it in here, and now this will automatically get disconnected. So take this and connect it into the foreground. And now if I view this, boom, you have this. Really good. And now if we play from start, you have these two animations. Isn't that crazy? That is super crazy and super cool. Now we had that second transform, and why? Because of the like modifier which we added, because again it's like what, okay, it came from there, but now what? It's static, and we don't want that. We don't need to have some motion in it. Even if it came from there, that doesn't matter. So after this transform, let's add another transform. Why we are adding another transform? Because we'll be animating at center x and y values, which is already animated in the first transform. So in this second transform, what we need to do is, okay, and please check it, it's added to the pipeline. And now here, if you right click on the center, you can see here you have a bunch of options. But if you click modify width, again you have a bunch of options. You need to choose per tube. What is this per tube? So per tube is basically noise. Okay,
Nice.
not that noise, this noise, yeah, this one. So if I play, you can see what is happening here. So right now its strength is a lot. So to manipulate that, again I'll come to this transform 4, and in the modifier, what I'll do is I'll just simply change its x and y scale. So we make it 0.1, 0.1. That is it. And now if you play, maybe that is again too much. Yeah, this is again too much. So maybe change it to 0.05, 0.05, and reseed it a little bit. And now if I'll play, yeah, that is little bit better. Maybe we can decrease it even more. So 0.02, 0.02, and you can increase the speed a little bit and also the strength a little bit. Now if we come and see, so the strength and speed is too much, so I don't want it to be that much, just a little bit. And you can even see what value should I put over here. Okay, 0.01, 0.01. Okay, so I didn't mess around with wobble and speed, and you don't want to do that either. So 0.01 and again 0.01. That is it. And now if you'll play from the beginning, so you have that animation, and it's not static, it's moving very slowly, very smooth, small movements, but there is a movement. Okay, it's not in a rest position. And that is pretty much it, guys. Wasn't that good? That was awesome. Now what you can do is very simply just take all of it, hit Ctrl C to copy, then paste all of it, and then put this merge as background again, because this will automatically be added as foreground. And now you can just build up, because you have already built a system. Now you just have to copy and paste and just manipulate small things, then copy and paste again. Which things you have to manipulate? Again, if I come over here, so instead of this rectangle, now you can delete that. And now let's add another mask node, which is hit shift plus spacebar and type ELP. That stands for ellipse. And now take the output of it and put it into this banner 1_1_1. You can even change its name. So let me change it to profile pic. That is it. And now with the help of this ellipse, let me just view this merge. You can choose anything which you want under this ellipse. And how do you do that? Well, you do that by making this ellipse smaller. Again, if you want to go do pixel peeping, you can do pixel peeping. You can do all sort of stuff which you want. So I think this is pretty much it. And yes, guys, that is actually pretty much it. And you will notice one thing, that this banner and the profile pic will have the same animation. Why? Because of the transform. So we don't need that. Actually, I don't need that. So I will just come here onto this transform and delete these keyframes. See, that was again a good thing about Splinator. You can delete or manipulate all the keyframes likewise. So now what do we have? We have, well, Nothing. Why is that? Because we accidentally deleted transform 3's keyframes also. So again hit Ctrl Z to undo that and uncheck this transform 3 and just delete this transform 3 once. Yeah, like this. Okay, we have this keyframe also, delete this also. So again I'll come to the center X value and type here 0.5 because so that it will be as it is. Okay, and now instead of changing the center value, let's play a little bit with size also, shall we? So I'll come on to keyframe 33rd and put a keyframe over here, and on 56 put a keyframe over here. Now let's go to previous keyframe. You can go to the previous keyframe by clicking on this little arrow. Okay, if you have multiple keyframes then you will automatically have this arrow for the previous and forward keyframe. So I'll come over here and make it size to 0. You can see it automatically changes its size in here also, Spline. So that's why I like Spline a lot, and I just want this transform 3_1, nothing else. So yeah, we don't even have nothing else. So we can remove the keyframe on the transform also, and now you can see we have these keyframes. And by the way, I'm moving it with the middle scroll wheel. Control middle mouse to zoom in and out, all middle mouse to move it in a horizontal way, all that kind of basic stuff. Control A to select all, Shift S to make them smooth. Select this, and because I have pressed D already, we have this ease in and ease out. I'll increase the ease in. Select this, ease out. Let's see. Wow, that is looking super cool. And one more thing which you can do is, because right now if you see, it is coming from here. That is because its pivot point is not set to this profile pic. Its pivot point is set over here. Like you see this cross, this is its pivot point. Okay, so we can change that by changing this pivot settings over here in the insert tab. So change its pivot to something like, can we just directly grab its pivot? Yeah, we can. So put it somewhere, and right now you can see it's going blank because I have enabled the proxy. If I uncheck that, it will not go blank. So maybe something like this will work. Okay, we don't need to be pixel perfect in this one. And I'll again check proxy by right clicking over here, hit Ctrl S again and again, hit Ctrl F to fit it to view, and because it's pivot set to this, now if you'll play, see, that is what I was talking about. And you can see that its per tube is same as this one because we didn't change the transform. So what you need to do is basically come over here in this modifiers panel and just click on this reseat. That is it. That did the work. See, now those both are different and you have that basic animation. And guys, I just love this kind of stuff. Like, this is really super cool. Now again, I will just put it over here, select all. Now again select all, hit Ctrl C to copy, hit Ctrl V to paste, put it over here, connect this merge to this one. And now this time, what do we have over here? Let's see, we have the subscribe button. Okay, so we don't need this ellipse. Instead, we need a rectangle. So let me just copy this rectangle from here, paste it over here, put it in here. Let's see. So we need this subscribe, right? So I can just grab this, put it over here. Again, resize with the corners, if you remember. Zoom, control, and middle mouse. Let me just put it in between. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. 1 2 3 4. Yeah, so somewhere around here. Decrease its height. So maybe something like this. Again, with the because my auto proxy is enabled, so that's why it's being pixelated. If I don't have that enabled, it will not be pixelated. But I think you should have proxy enabled because it somehow helps you. Not somehow, it obviously helps you. And now, how to get that like this is like a pill. So how to get that curved shape at the ends? For that we have an option known as corner radius. You can increase that to 1. Maybe now decrease the width just a tad bit to here, even the height just a tad bit to here. And now you have the subscribe button ready for you. If you again click on this merge and see, that is pretty much it. Again, things you need to change is come over here onto this transform, modifier, reseed it a bit. Okay, now that will move differently from these two, and come on to this transform, pivot point, take this pivot and put it on to like on here. Now this will be scaling at same time. Just see that. See, both are scaling at same time. So what we need to do is just change the timing of that. So I'll select on my main element, take all of these, select all of these 2 keyframes with Control A, and then again, how did I told you to manually change the position of that? By hitting Alt, so that we will lock it on the axis. So hold Alt, because we have both of these selected. Come here, as you see the cursor change its side, select, bring it somewhere around here. Now both of these keyframes are shifted. And now if I click on this time stretch, so you can basically stretch it a bit if you want to. Okay, so we don't need to do that. I hit Control and left arrow to bring it to the 0 keyframe, and let's play. Wow, super smooth. But I think we can bring that even further. Again, I'll select both of these, hit Alt, hold Alt, and then bring it even. Oh shit, we did a mistake. We are doing a mistake. And what is that? That is a big one over there. We are animating both of these transforms. See, that is a problem. So we don't need to animate this one. This is transform 3_1, so we don't need to animate it. Double click on it. We need to just animate these. Again, select this, click, hold Alt, select these, bring it a little bit here. Now this will have some differentiation. Yeah, it is great now. So this and zip, this, zoop, 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 zoop. Yep, looking great. Zoop, 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 zoop. Awesome. Now we have these, and likewise again, you can just do all the things with this YouTube icon. Again, you have this image, put a rectangular mask on it. Again, do the same transform thing, then merge it, then same with the YouTube icon. So I'll just I'll just hit Control C. I accidentally hit Control X and Control V to paste it over here. I'm just saving the time, guys. It's not me being lazy. Okay. Now what I'll do is I'll again select all of these, and now if we see just for a moment how this is looking, after doing all of that, it will look something like this. So now we are at least done with the element stuff. Now we just need to animate the videos, but you are now basically done with the elements. Looking super cool. Now I'll select all of these, again hit Shift plus spacebar, type UND for underlay, and F2 and type here other elements. Hit hold enter so that it will automatically, and again right click, set color to maybe orange. Yep. So now we this is also inside this underlay. Don't do that. Don't do this kind of discrimination. So you can even select this transform, right click, set color to blue, and I think that we are pretty much halfway Done. Okay, coming to the next things. Now what we have over here, we have the videos. So the same way, the videos are done. How? Select all of it, copy, and then paste it, just to explain that to you guys. Paste it over here. Okay, so what do we have here is another clip. Okay, like again, so just copy this clip with Control C, paste it here. All right, then again hit Shift plus spacebar, type REC TANGLE insert type RCT and add a rectangle mask on it. So if I come over here, I have this rectangle mask. Again put this onto this video. Now I'll just resize it a bit. Yeah, so now you have to do some things, like you have to take some things in mind. You have to manually do some masking in this, because I will say that you need to make it little bit pixel perfect, otherwise it will not look that great. So I'll just reduce its height, its width, and again with the help of corner radius I will make it something like this. And I think that is a really good mask out there. I didn't thought that we will make it that great. Then again we have a transform. So what we did over here, I'll just copy both of these with Control C, paste it here with Control V, and we have that. Now put this output into the input of this transform, and let's see what do we have here. And again, we don't forget to add a merge. Okay, so I'll just take this, put it over here. You can again do all that kind of stuff, MERG, but now you understand all of that. So like, why do we waste time of you guys? Now take the output, put it into the merge, and let's see what do we have here. Oh, wait. Now it's not working. Well, why is that? That is because again we did the mistake. This is connected as a input as the background, and this is the foreground. We don't need that. We need to change it. So how do we change that? With Control T to swap the inputs. Now let's see what do we have here. Again we have the same animation and same kind of stuff. I'll just delete these nodes. Now what are the things that we need to change? We need to change its transform settings, and also the transform 2 over here. We need to change the reseed value. So I'll click on this reseed. I'll come here, click on this reseed. We don't do that. We did that. Okay, sorry, I thought that we didn't do that. Now here in the transform, instead of this movement, what I'll do is you can directly change the movement of transform with these lines also. So these are basically polylines, so you can change those. So I'll come here on 12th frame, change it to something like this, and maybe make it something like this. You can do all that kind of stuff. You can manipulate it basically. Now if you'll see, so it came from there instead of coming over there. So these are the kind of stuff which you can do. And again, you have to just do that again and again and again with other elements. So like here we have done this with another clip, and by doing all of that, I'll just copy these, Control C, Control V, like this. So you will have something like this. Again, these are transformed in their own axis. Okay, like this one, I just told you how to do that. Okay, again this one is animated, like its size property is animated. This one, it is animated on this transform. So let me just show you. So it's coming from there, and the last one is coming from here. So it totally depends on how you want your elements to move. Okay, and I already told you like how to animate this, so I don't think that there is a need explain each node settings. Like in this transform node, we are changing its size value, and I already told you how to animate that size property. All right, and how to even smooth that out with coming in the spline editor. Now lastly, let me just take this rest videos also and put it over here. This is something different. Instead of taking a single element like we just did over here with rectangle, we just take a single video. We are taking the whole line. So if I just disable this rectangle and show that to you, so we were taking the single video like this. Now we are taking the whole line as a whole. Okay, and you can see the properties over here also, like values. And then again doing the same thing, transforming from the below, and yeah, pretty much same. Put over here. And I'm again saying that to you, don't put your wrong inputs. Don't put your outputs to the wrong input. What you can do is, even you can right click and hold and then release that onto the node which you want to put it. Now you can choose on which input you want to add background, foreground or effect mask. It totally depends on you. I'll select all of these, shift plus spacebar, type UND for underlay, hit F2. Okay, so it doesn't change that because we already have that kind of name over here. So no issue, I'll type it to clips. That is it. And right click, set color to violet, select all the transforms, right click, set color to orange, just for the organizational purposes. Otherwise I don't have a need to decorate all of that, and I don't want to do decoration also, to be honest. So your whole animation will look something like this. Zip zip zip. Don't worry, I'll be making another video on, like a separate video dedicated to mask specifically, and I'll be sharing all the tips and tricks, all the things about polygons. And lastly, what do we have here? We had that background over here. So now this is a little bit confusing. How? Let me just show that to you. So first of all, I'll tell you how to get that border or background. So we get that by adding a bitmap. Alright, then having a filter node. We have this filter and this bit. I'm selecting the clip, remember that, not the merge. So that is really important. So I'm selecting the clip, putting it to the bitmap, and also to the no. And then right clicking this bitmap, holding, and put it into the input instead of effect mask. Now if you will see the filter. Now in this filter, instead of relief, you need to change it to Sobel. Now you see we get that border of all of these three masks. So let me just explain what this is doing. So we have this clip and we are taking it like as it is, okay? And because it's animation properties in this rectangle, so we don't need to do any changes. Let me just explain it very simply. Basically, we have this clip, we have all the mask, and that mask is going to bitmap. In bitmap, you can see we have these white and black inputs. Now because of these white and black inputs, that is going inside filter. And what this filter is doing, basically, it's because in this filter, because of its Sobel or Laplacian property, Laplacian is very thin and Sobel is like something like this. So in this, because of this Sobel property, we are getting the edges of it. Okay, now what you can do is you can add glow, soft glow, and then again let me just select all of these, bring those down something like here maybe, and add a merge. After this merge, put it over here, and now take the output of this soft glow and put it into this merge over here. And now if I see, you can see we have something going on. And just for the organizational purposes, what I'll do is I'll hit Alt and click on this. This will make a pipe router. This pipe router doesn't have any setting or something because this doesn't do anything. It is just there for the organizational purposes. Okay, now you see it is a little bit organized. Again, I'm telling you this. So what this is doing is basically taking the output of this clip. This is the output. Okay, and then putting in the bitmap. What this bitmap is doing is taking that as a whole, because the settings are like this. The channel is set to alpha, you can set to luminance, red, green, other things like that, but we need to do that to alpha. After changing it to alpha, we have this filter, and in the filter we have the filter type to Sobel. And then again adding all the glow and soft glow stuff, and in merge you can see we have something like this. Now again I'll come here, and in the rectangle, maybe tabs it was, yeah, I maybe want to decrease or increase the width, just because it is having this kind of bug or something. I know it's a bug or something, it's something to do with soft glow. So something like this will work, and yeah, it is working indeed. And again, to have that sort of this cloudy input, so what we need to do is we just need to add a fast noise to this merge. So this will add a mask to all of these. So I'll just type here fast noise, FN, not the fast noise texture, fast noise, and then put its output to the merge blue input, which is effect mask. And now if I see, you can see we don't see much difference. But if I come here in fast noise, increase the detail to 10, and now increase the scale of it, well, I think that you can see something. And even now if you will increase the contrast, then you can see what is happening. So if I see this fast noise, what is happening is basically these were its default settings. What we did was we increase the scale of it first of all, then we increase the detail of it, and then we even increase its contrast. So yes, that is how you get that kind of effect. We don't need to make it that much harsh. I'll choose discontinuous and inverted, and maybe increase little bit of seed rate, and then not that much, maybe increase the contrast just a tad bit, maybe decrease the brightness. I don't know what were the settings in here, I just forgot. So we don't have any inverted on. Yeah, I thought that already. So don't check this inverted, just check that it's continuous. And yeah, that's how you do it. You can even blend it. Come over here in the merge and blend it out just a tad bit, maybe something like 0.5 or something. I think I did that. Okay, so I didn't do that. Well, that is okay. You can maybe even choose that to overlay instead of screen. Okay, no, not that. You can choose screen and then blend it out, and this way you will get the effect like this. But the question is how to get that with each element and with their transform enabled. Like for example, if I just directly take this clip's output and put it to the bitmap input, so let me just put it in the image, so it will just have it over here. We need this to move with our clip. So instead of this clip taking from here, you can take the transform output instead of taking the output of this clip and put it over here, and now you can see it will move with it. So that's why we have these many merges. Why do we have that? Because I take that shift plus spacebar, merge, put it as a background. Now take this transforms, put it over here. Now again copy this merge, paste, Control C to copy this merge, Control to paste, Control to paste, Control to paste, Control to paste, because we have these many. And then again 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. Well, now again take the transforms output, put it over here. First of all, put this over here, put this over here, and put this over here. And remember, these merges have to be put in the background input of that. All right. And yeah, this way you will have some effects like this, and these clips will be as foreground. Otherwise this effect will not work. So please put your inputs and outputs very carefully. Now take the output of this merge and put it into the background on input of this merge. Now again take this into the foreground, take this into the foreground. First of all, join all of these merges together because that is important. Then join this to this, join this to this, and lastly join this to this. So you can see these are joined. Take the output of this transform, put it into the foreground, output of this transform, put it in the foreground. Do the same thing over here. Now take the output finally and put it into the bitmap, and now you can see we have all those. And now I'll come over here in rectangle, and you can see that we can change it a bit. So maybe reduce the width just a tad bit, not that much. and maybe even the height, and we even need to see that in here also. Yeah, so this will work. And yeah, that's how you will get your this result. All right, and now add a media out node. Media out, and then change your index to 0, and then this will be viewed in your timeline. So add a media out, and please change this index from 1 to 0. Okay, then only it will work. Otherwise it will not work, because you already have a media out in here, so it will take the output from this media out. And yeah, that is pretty much it, guys. Now what you need to do is you need to select all of these again, UND underlay F2, type glowy. Yeah, that is what I put in here, glowy. Then right click, set color to olive, and that is pretty much it. That's how you do that. That's how you create all of these effects. Don't you think that this was pretty small than these? Well, that is because let me just bring these down, bring this down too, scale it up till here, scale it down till here. Yeah, that is it. I have created this again. Wow, proud of myself finally. Here we have all the nodes together. Okay, here you have the result, and that's how you create this motion graphics. Thank you so much, guys, for sticking around till the end. If you really stick around till the end, then you are the real hero. And yeah, please keep supporting, because without your support I won't be able to make all of these videos and reveal all the secrets that Iman Gadzhi and all these great content creators have. But yeah, any which ways, again, thank you so much for watching. And yeah, this is not just it. We have 2 more effects of this Iman Gadzhi style videos. And again, it's not about the tool, it's not about like anything, it's just about how you use it, what's your creativity, and what you want to show to the world. Okay, remember that. What's your creativity and what you want to show to the world. Create what you love and create what you want. That is it. Thank you so much for watching. This is me signing off. See you in the next one. Peace out. And yeah, lastly, you have this file in the link provided description below. And if you want to support, then you can support too. Okay, yeah, thank you so much. See you in the next one. Peace out.